because we're about to get into a conversation. Man, and this is just the one part of a many-part series we're going to do, man. We got about 45 minutes to have this conversation. When we decided to come to L.A., there was one person, the first person I said I wanted to have is with us right now. This man, I got to know his name early in the 80s. He was a West Coast DJ that went to the New Music DJ Battle for World Supremacy in the 1990 DMC U.S. Mixing Finals in New York City. And back then, anytime you had a West Coast DJ that was showing off and was that ill on those turntable skills, man, they became famous, okay, because it was hard. It was hard to break on the East Coast. I don't care who you were if you wasn't from the East Coast.
That's a fact.
So when dudes like this was going in there slicing these other DJs up like pies, you had to get that recognition. Also, DJ Aladdin, man. Let's shout out to DJ Aladdin as well. But right now, man, this dude, man, original K-Day Mixmasters, am I correct?
Yes, that's right.
Okay, come on, man. He's done DJ. I mean, he done produced for everybody from Tina Marie to Snoop Dogg to the guy we got here today joining us in the studio, to Tupac Shakur, to man, he's done the Exhibit, the East Siders. I mean, the list goes on and on who this man has helped build their careers. And he's a West Coast staple, a pioneer, a juggernaut, a legend, an icon. We got the one and only DJ Battlecat in here.
Hey! Love, family, love.
I feel the love.
Come on, man. Come
Oh,
on, man.
God.
I said I gotta have Battlecat. I don't care what we do, man. I was like, he probably like, what's Sway trying to do, man? Is he up to something? You know, and he showed up, man. And then my brother, this is like my little brother, and I don't mean that in a demeaning way, but me and this man has had such a rapport,
Yeah.
Our rapport, you know, since day one, even when we first met, it's always been on some brother shit, right? You know, rather I used to be a clown a lot, you know, on the radio.
Used to be?
Yo, Trey, what it is today ain't like it was back in the 90s, yo.
Oh, okay.
I'm dudes on the West Coast look at me like, you calm down, huh? You tamed, right? You know, but back then, man, I used to really challenge this guy, and not just because it's his rhyme skill, because to me, he's one of the most under-acknowledged MCs in history, you know, and I think a lot of it has to do with intimidation and people just don't really hold a candle to him. And then the truth, you know, he's one of the most intellectual MCs to ever write songs. When he writes music, you learn from it, you know, similar to KRS-One. When he put out Edutainment, this man has been doing that since day one. He talks about our history, our origins, who we come from, society, societal woes, diabolical plots and schemes that are put out on our people, on our community, and then he'll chop your ass up like mincemeat if you want to step in the mic booth. All right, man, the Horseman is one of the crews he's been a part of. I remember was the Golden State Warriors. Come on, man. You know, we did work with him too with the "Come With It" song with him and the mod.
I mean, that's the beginnings.
That was the beginnings.
That's the beginning. Battlecat put me on my first demos. I gets busy. You remember?
Come on,
and
man, crazy.
Then y'all heard me. That gave me the
part.
ability to get here.
Okay.
Get to the Wake Up Show.
Get the Wake Up Show.
Yeah.
And King Tech produced the "Come With It" joint, and that was on what, the Street Fighter soundtrack back when the Street Fighter movie came out, and
got me my first video.
Got him his first video. Come on, man. Yo, our roots run deep.
Yeah.
Give it up for the man. Give it up for one of the illest MCs ever. Give it up for Ras Kass.
Facts. He dropped one of the illest hoodies to this day. I still got my pink and purple hoodie.
Thank you.
That shit cold.
Yo.
Thank you, Evan.
Hey, and while we was at it, man, I hit my sister last night, and I was telling her, hey, man, I got Battlecat coming up. And to me, she's one of the most revered voices and pens and visionaries and journalists and historians to ever come out of this culture of hip-hop music, especially when it comes to the West Coast story.
Yes.
But listen, before I didn't meet her as a historian, I met her as an MC. Okay, I met her as somebody just jumping on that mic who had an ill-ass style with certain, like you had to be, it was certain women who had styles that just needed to be recognized and needed to be acknowledged and brought to the forefront, and she was doing it early. And I remember coming up to L.A. and listening to her music, and then she fine, too. Usually, you know.
Wow, man.
Gonna put the extras on it.
Yeah.
That's the icing
Oakland
on
will
the
come out no matter what.
Valentine's Day next week.
You know, 23rd Ave up in here. But what she's done, man, Battlecat and Ras Kass, over the years, we've been trying to figure a way. She's documented so much early West Coast history. I mean, she has interviews with everyone that's sitting in the vault. And I know a lot of people going to hear this and try to get to it, but you can't get to her unless you come through us.
That part.
All
That
right,
part.
because we're going to
That part.
protect this. It ain't been done correctly yet when it comes to the West Coast story and the West Coast history. No knock on everybody else, but you should be doing your research. Quit pretending like this is a real documentary when you ain't done the research and you voiding out the nuances that made up this culture. Don't be scared of it because you wasn't here and you don't understand it. Just reach out to the people who were here.
Right.
Like this woman who's joining us in this conversation
Yes,
today.
sir.
Wow.
Give it up for the queen of queens, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for the one and only, the Poetess.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I'm so happy to be here because I love everybody in this room. And I started, in fact, I'll tell my Ras Kass story.
Yep.
I did my video, Love Hurts.
Uh-huh. When it comes from the fist.
Right. And so years later, every time I would run into Ras Kass, he would have an attitude with me. I'd be like, why is this dude giving me shade? He goes, you don't remember I danced in your video? And I was like, no, I'm sorry, I didn't, you know. But once he got that off his chest, it's been love
I
ever
was excited
since.
to dance on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yep. Now, you were a dancer before becoming an MC?
We house is what we call it in L.A. So, like, more break dancing, not pop dancing. It was underground b-boying, basically. So that's how Battlecat met us, and we did your video on Hollywood Boulevard, and I got a lot of shit about it because when we were dancing, Bird kicked me in the head. So you had that footage, and we were always looking for it. So that's why I was just messing with you. I wasn't mad, but I was just like,
What year was this?
This had to be
91, 92.
Yeah,
91, 92.
Yeah.
Wow, right before the Chronic.
Yeah.
Right before the Chronic.
Right before the Chronic, and I was actually on Interscope before Death Row moved in. But I actually hosted Tupac's last concert at the House of Blues.
Oh,
yeah, and,
wow.
and
Wow.
Suge hired me to host that event, and he passed a few months later.
I remember that.
That's
I didn't
crazy,
get to
man.
go to that show.
We all got some gems
living
about
artifact.
Tupac. Man, jeez.
Yo, Battlecat, let's start with you. Let's take it back to before the New Music Seminar DJ Battle for World Supremacy. That was in 1988, right?
Somewhere
around
right
that
on
time?
it, yeah, because I was already a K-Day Mix Master
Okay.
in '87. So yeah, you're right.
So K-Day, when was the inception of K-Day? When did that come? And for those who don't know, K-Day was a 24-hour a day, 7 days a week, the only hip-hop station that played total hip-hop, right?
Yes,
AM station.
AM stereo,
station.
not FM yet.
Yeah.
And we talking about my childhood, so we talking about some '70s. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Or before the K-Day Mix Masters was in place. So I followed the station as many other stations that was good and making some history for us and playing good music and giving us history. KACE. Where Dr. Dre actually started. A lot of people don't know he was there in radio then. And but just to bring it up to speed, man, it was amazing that this brother would put something together, Greg Mack, and it was his last tryout to assemble a crew that was going to really be, like almost the rival of Uncle Jam's Army. He wanted the Uncle Jam's Army so bad that he created his own crew. So we call it the K-Day Mix Masters. And Dr. Dre was the first K-Day Mix Master. But then NWA took off. Then you got Tony Gonzalez and Battlecat. They walk in the next day. Battlecat got lifted off with LL Cool J. So then we got Tony. He's still there. So he recruited Tony
Tony G.
Tony G ended up getting my bag. Julio G. But then we needed more DJs. So we had the last tryouts was at the Ebony Showcase for Washington, Mid City over there, and I became a mix master as the rest of us. Tracy, rest in peace. Ralph M, M-Walk, Aladdin, Jammin' James, DJ Romeo. And if I left anyone out, it's all good. You know who you are. I love you. But it was a beautiful thing because it gave us a voice. I wanted to be a part of Uncle Jam on Me so bad. You know what I'm saying? Because that was an escape for me to get out the hood. You know, gangbanging was at an all-time high. And one thing I love about my neighborhood, they was like heroes. You know what I'm saying? They knew that I wasn't built for that, so they didn't keep me down. They supported me and gave me, money and transportation to get wherever I needed to be so I could be who I am today. So I appreciate that. But, man, them Humble's beginnings went all the way into the opportunity with Doug Young, who was one of Death Row's top promoters in breaking Death Row records. He gave me opportunity to go to New York, say, man, your skill set is there. Would you like to go and enter the DMC? And I'm like, man. I said, I got to get to practicing, because, them dudes ain't no joke on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So it was a beautiful thing. I go out there. This is when Latin and Dub C had paid dues. I go out there. I'm repping the L.A., the KD Mix Masters, Uncle Jam Warming, the California Cat Crew, everything I could think of that is from my coast. I want to bring that with me to show them the culture, the style, the flavor, the unique, different originality in DJing and turntablism. And you see, if you look at the video, you got Red Alert, you got so many guys there that was just
Clark
embracing
Kent was
me.
there?
Clark Kent, I think Clark
was
there. They was, all them cats was there, so it was amazing to see them put their eyes on me and embrace me. And I was just going for mine. I only weighed about 130 at the time. I mean, I was a Slim Jim. And it was a blessing, man, to be embraced and share the culture what California is about as far as DJism. You know what I'm saying?
Your chains weigh about 130 now, man. Really well for itself.
You mentioned humble beginnings, though, Battlecat. And where did you get your name from? Because we are I always knew about you, always been a fan.
Heather, come on.
Man, but more than anything, I remembered your name. I was like, it's one of those names that is just so original with this Battlecat. Where'd you get your name from?
Well, I needed a name to coexist with a crew and the leader of the crew, which is Bobcat Irvin from Uncle Jam on Me, who produced LL and all the other great classic hits from the West. He had a crew that was the next up-and-coming DJs that we was trying to convince Roger Clayton to let us coexist with them, you know what I'm saying? So the cartoon called He-Man, and when he wasn't great and victorious and strong, he would be cringer. I didn't like that. I was challenging. I ain't nothing soft about me. I'm very competitive. I have a young, battling kind of personality about my gift because, it was a struggle, becoming who I am as a man, let alone as a producer or anything else that I dreamed to be. And so I inherited the name and gave it to Bob. Bob liked it, but then I had to still pay dues. So it was a few contests that I had. I lost one against one of my peers, my big homie Tracy. He put a slice on my ass. and what's so crazy that it really broke me down because my ex, rest in peace, at the time she was my girlfriend, and that was MC Trouble. So her and my mother was there, and my mentor booed me when I lost against my homie. So it made me furious, to really get my skill set up and really show him that I really belong with him. And so I pulled my boots up. I went back. I got it together. I seen him again, and he was convinced that I should be a part of the family. And it wasn't easy, like I said. If you're gonna have a name Battlecat, you can't be losing too many battles.
That's
you know what I'm
saying.
And
you got to get rid of the name.
You see what I'm saying? So I brought the name even into the industry as well, Heather, and it's been a blessing, because that was a whole nother field to be battling in. You know what I'm saying? And winning and putting your feet wet into the music side. But I'm very grateful that they all embraced me,
Yeah.
which led me into another unique situation. Dr. Dre was leaving to form NWA. I got a call from my homie from the LA Dream Team, Richie Rich, and he said, "Cat, Lonzo was having an opportunity that he rarely gives to people to come and, you know, have a DJ audition to be a member." And I said, "Man, you know, that's dope, but I'm not trying to take Dre's place like that." He said, "Well, listen, this is what it's paying, and you ain't never been on the road on tour before, so this could be a situation to broaden your portfolio." You know what I'm saying? So I went. I met Dre, and Dre showed me how to work the drum machine, showed me how to program, showed me my cadence, showed me my time signature. And he left, and left me in the studio with Lonzo, and the next
Dr.
day,
Dre showed you all of that stuff?
Dre showed me
that.
The same day that they formed NWA. Dre came and showed me proper studio etiquettes and the art of drum programming, and then the rest was history. I never looked back, and I became the second generation of the world class wrecking crew, thanks to Lonzo, and that put Battlecat into producing school in a sense. And, you know, it was like a big boys club for me to be safe. Like I said, the gangbang was at an all-time high, so to be able to go from South Central to Compton was a blessing to me. And he trusted me, and actually, you know, even with the turntables, you know, how trustworthy Lonzo was. He gave me Dre's old 12s from back in the days when he was at Dudo's and Skateland, and to have that, I didn't even have my own pair of 12s. So, you know, all those kind of things like that is I don't take for granted.
You still got them 12s?
No, I got my own. But I tell you what I do got. You can look on my Instagram. I got the original 12-14 Akai tour track beta tape recorder. It's a tour track recorder. It's the first machine that Dre, as a world-class wrecking crew member, was doing all the songs in the demos on as a member. So I bought it from Lonzo just about a month ago, and it's amazing. I got to have Dre sign it. But it's all the work that Dre was doing on the mixes, you know, for K-Day or KGFJ or whatnot or KACE. It's that same mixer. Damn. And I got it for a couple of bucks, and it means the world to me, because that was the board where I found me, my sound, how to properly record, mix, and everything. So,
Thank you for sharing that, man.
That's amazing.
Before I turn off the lights,
Right.
all that was on.
Yeah. See, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I had to take Dre in his place because, you know, Miss Chalet went with him too. So we had Mona Lisa as the backup singer, and the Uzi brothers. I love them brothers.
The Uzi brothers.
Come on, Will Rock. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Bob Dog, rest in peace, and Kill Ken. So, you know, that was another thing. I got a chance to appreciate instrumentation, live drums, live keyboards, everything, how it worked with drum machines, MIDI, everything, hardware before what it is today. And I'm glad that happened, because now I have a happy medium in educating people how to appreciate the first generation of music to what it is now.
Battlecat is here, Ras Kass, the
Wow.
poetess. Right there, that was just 10 minutes of jewels, right, Finesse? Finesse is like it. And this is interesting because Lord Finesse has such a deep-rooted history, too, that I'm sure he could share stuff with us. You know, and the West Coast story is not told like this. That's why I wanted you to come up. And so you mentioned the LA Dream Team, right?
Yes,
you
sir.
mentioned Uncle Jam's Army.
Yes, sir.
And can you talk to people about the importance of those movements and how they helped set up what we know now as the West Coast music industry, really?
Wow, it's crazy. I'm going to try to keep it short as I can. Because of the DJs that was before Uncle Jam Army that I can remember, we talking about, DJ Reg. Because of DJ Reg in 1979, I fell in love with hip-hop and DJing. This is the same year Rapper's Delight come out. I'm in the 6th grade, coming out, getting ready to go to junior high and middle school. And that did something tremendous for me, seeing the foundation of that. But then we got a chance to see hip-hop from the East Coast, and the first time I seen it with a DJ involved is when Rocket came out, and we had PBS. That was another station in L.A. that we watched before cable. And Herbie Hancock and DST is together. And so to see them two together, I never knew that hip-hop was accepted and appreciated that way. And it caterpillar to some other things as well. And it was so important that we jot down all this history and dabble in it and see what it is and where we belong in it, because it was like I said, it was another way to be a part of music and the history of music. And so from, like I said, from Uncle Jam's on me all the way up, California Cat Crew, World Class Wrecking Crew, Egyptian Lover. I love the fact that they put out like a documentary called Breaking and Entry, which was our Beat Street, which showcased the art of DJing, breakdancing, different crews, neighborhoods, how we integrated with one another, black, Hispanic, white, Asian, all different nationalities was there in the makings of it. And it did tremendous things for us to see all this and keep the history. And that's one thing we have bad on this side of the town, not understanding how to capitalize the moment, the footage, putting it together. Someone taking the time to get educated with how to get into television or film or anything to have an outlet so we can see the beginnings and the relationships, the different walks of life of music and everything, But we still here. We ain't making no excuses, and we're gonna do our part. I just had a unique conversation with Sway about being an executive, being another voice, to go to the ones that still here alive and really get a chance to tell the story how it should be told. And it's not gonna just exist within the West Coast. We got to start here, but it's amazing in how New York integrated with us as well. Like, I DJ for Latifah, I DJ for Kumo D, I DJ for Curtis Blow, and stuff of this nature, and they trusted us to, to accompany them, and they get down, and that was amazing. I owe Greg Mack for these opportunities for that, because he could have just easily said no, you're gonna mess up, you're not proven, but he felt we was proven and we was worth the while, and those kind of things brought these opportunities that we're talking about. It gave another voice for the Crips and Bloods too, because there was a lot of guys that really didn't want to live that life, and they love music and they needed a way out to express themselves. So I got to give a shout out to the Crips and Bloods on this side of the town, because they was like our big brothers and uncles and fathers. We never had to protect us while we was becoming who we needed to be. I gotta say that.
Wow. DJ Battlecat, real bad. Yeah.
Can I add something? I interviewed Mixmaster Spade, and he told me that he would spend summers in New York, and he would go to the basement parties, the parties in the park, and then he saw, I think it was Kool Herc. And it inspired him so much, he came back to Compton.
See, there we go.
And had his grandmother buy him a set of turntables.
Wow.
And he said he started DJing house parties, but people, they never really saw anything like that before. And so they would stop dancing and surround him while he was doing his turntablism. Where does that play in the history or the start of West Coast DJs? Would you say that Mixmaster Spade kind of bridged that gap or brought it to Compton?
You know what? I would never say that it wasn't, because my barrel and where I come from is not Compton. Mine's the South Central, Slauson and Crenshaw district. So, but the story is very true from all my peers and forefathers of hip hop on the west side. And you're so right about that. I just can't say too much on it. I just know that it was a blessing that it happened, and any one of our brothers that was in L.A. and took a trip to New York, whether if it was DJ Pooh, Jinx, the L.A. Posse, Daryl Pierce, Bobcat, Muffler from Uncle Jam's on me, these guys, took a trip to the other side to see what this was ourselves, because it was only so much that was being advertised. We didn't see the background, the real nitty gritty shit that was happening, the culture. You hear about it. You got cousins and stuff that come from different parts of New York that lived in Cali early on, but it was nothing like getting on the plane to go see it for yourself, and that was amazing for us because then we couldn't let no one distort the real true essence of what this was, and when we came back to LA, what it was like, it's the truth. They love us, it's kind of different and weird if they don't really know who we are, but your presentation and the way you approach different people that you seeing from New York is this. If you come with open arms, you're gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? You come with that vibe, like hey, I'm the shit. What's up? I want to battle. You don't know what you're gonna get. And I'm just glad that New York embraced me in so many ways because of this history that we talking about. Some understand the pillars. Houdini. I love the fact that Roger Clayton brung out so many different artists, New Edition when they was kids. We got a chance to see them early on in the 80s. It was crazy. So we loved them. LA is like a big old melting pot, we until you come out there and see what it is for yourself, you'll know where the love is. We love you, what I'm saying?
And I think there was sort of a parallel history too.
Yeah.
Like you had escaping me, Planet Rock, and then you had
what, Rapper Just Like?
No, we had
World
Class
Lover.
Rescue.
We had
Yeah.
World Class Wrecking
So
Crew,
it was
Egyptian
sort
Lover.
of that parallel going
Yeah.
on at around
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah. And Uncle Jim Army was like a spinoff of Parliament, Rick James in a sense, and the Grandmaster Flash and the Fierce Fire. I mean, we love the culture too. We love what they brought to the table, and the positive and consciousness in funk and hip hop. That's what made me fall in love with it at first. You know what I'm saying? And man, Raz, you hear he got some gems about this too. I don't want to overthrow who's all in here.
No, I love it, man.
This
This is part one.
pillars.
This is part
No,
one.
we love
I'm
all
learning.
of it.
And I
It's
think,
crazy.
too,
I
it
don't-
was vice versa. I think it was the same thing for us. I think hearing and seeing only but so much of LA from New York and Jersey and just looking, it's like, well, what's happening out there? Everybody wear hockey jerseys and like lumberjack. You didn't know. You had to go for yourself. And I remember seeing Ross in a club. I was like, yo, they got MCs out there. Like, it's like my mindset when I got back on, like, yo, there's niggas out there with bars. Like, they just rhyming in these little spots. It's like, I didn't know. I just thought you had to go see it for yourself. And
Yes,
and
that's
you
the
couldn't
best
come
experience.
out. You got an attitude, like a New York attitude coming out to LA. It can happen to you, too.
You have to
You know
run
what I'm
something.
saying?
Yeah.
Like, you got to, it was the same. We just didn't know because we allowed the media to dictate how we should feel about each other.
There you go, Heather. That's it right there. That right there played a major role. And for those who could come hands-on, and see it for themselves, believe me, you will be rewarded when you doing so. And I know it did a lot for the Poetess as well, because then she seen us coming. We was like her little brothers, you know what I'm saying, in the makings. And she seen how consistent and dedicated we was. And then Sway, oh, man, I know you just seen us coming. It's just crazy, and it wasn't easy being the best that, we wanted to be as a human being and the artist, because we came in to the game with no instructions. And we just did it for the love. And some of us got burnt, and some of us, is still here to stand the test of time to keep the torch lit. So we
Shout out
appreciate
to
the
Roger
love,
Clayton,
man.
though.
Roger Clayton, come on.
Yeah.
Man, my clock is moving, man. We're
Yeah,
going to
it
have to do this again, man. I already see this. Raz, when you were dancing, was this at the same time that Far Side and all of those guys were dancing?
Yeah. So all of us were Housers, like 90-ish.
90-ish?
Yeah.
Say like
you're right.
90-ish,
Who else was
91.
dancing? Will I Am was
Will I
dancing.
Am. Far Away in New Mexico, Albuquerque, Exhibit was dancing.
Damn,
So actually,
you killing me on that one.
for real. Me and my friend Dags, we danced for King T.
Yep.
So with 40 ounces because we were stupid hood babies, and honestly, the whole thing is Cuba kind of destroyed that you couldn't do both. So he was, you know,
Ice Cube.
Cube had said, I leave that to the dudes with the funny haircuts. So you could not. So by the time, like, I'm probably like 7th grade, 8th grade, whatever, like, you got to start, maybe a little, like 9th, 10th. You got to make a decision. So I wanted to already transition. I wanted to rhyme. And by then, probably Cat had already took us under his wing. So I was trying to transition out of the dance. But we danced for Box, who was his artist, our homeboy. Incredible lyricist.
Yes.
What was he signed to? He was signed to
Win Swips. Hold on. He was on the same level as Ed O.G.
Right. So our homie.
Yeah, that part.
Yeah. So that was our way in was dancing. So they brought us in, but he was Cat, me and Bird, Soul on Ice, all that whole beginning stuff. Cat brings us in. My mama, because I'm a watch baby and a Carter dude, so my mama would literally drop us off into the Crenshaw district.
Yes.
And then I'd have to catch a bus all the way back to Carson.
Yeah.
But they would look out for us because
I
was like 14, acting like I was 16. They would, him and rest in peace, Clouseau, his best friend, they would drive us back to Carson. We were kids, man. And he believed in us and gave us a different direction. So I always say, like, we were groomed and honestly, the same way he was talking about the neighborhood and the homies, like, my big homies, which weren't necessarily from my hood, but some that were in my hood, like, you know, some homies put a burner in your hand, some homies put a dope sack, and some homies recognize that you're good at what you do, and they cultivate that, and I'm very grateful for people like Cat. Like, he cultivated
DJ Battlecat, man. And then he was produced. He was one of your first producers.
Yeah, demo period. Ideas was helping me shape myself how I wanted to. You know, so I would bring I would bring records, you know, whatever. He helped me develop him and Battlecat and I would say, period, Wino. You know, Wino, period. That's my big homie from the neighborhood I grew up in, you know, 190th Street. It is what it is. So those two, man, they let me be me, and it would be funny because, again, we were kind of a liability. They got to drive all the way to Carson. You know, we're past Compton. So to drop me off from the west side, they cared about us, man. And didn't rob us, didn't steal from us, invested in us, man. Recognize talent that we didn't see in ourselves, and I'm always grateful for that, man. And that's why I try to put that back out in the universe to other MCs. I always try to show that love. Because a lot of dudes nowadays are just threatened, and they feel like, let me eliminate the threat before it win and get better than me or whatever, you know, or let me steal all the money from it. You know, and that's whack, man. You got to put some love in the universe because that's, you know, honestly, this culture saved it changed my trajectory, changed my life. It gave me a job, put me around the world more than once.
Part.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a blessing, bro. Every day I wake up, I'm not in no cubicle hating my life. I technically have the best job, even if I don't get paid, you know, the Drake money. I get to walk around and tell people what I think and expect them to give me money. I don't dance. It ain't no, like, fireworks. I just be like, yo, nigga, this is what I think, nigga.
Yo, nigga.
Give me some money. Fly me, put me in a hotel, and let me talk this shit.
That's right. That's
It ain't even funny. It ain't even no Chappelle shit. My shit ain't no jokes. I'm like, yeah, nigga, and give me some bread. So I'm blessed like a motherfucker. It's a great job to have.
I love that you see your life like that because your life is a movie, it's a book,
yes.
and
All of ours.
All of our lives are like that, and all of them are inspirational. Is what I love about it. I'm gonna have to rap, so I know we're gonna have to do a part 2.
Yes,
I know y'all. You know, see, I just want to warm you up. All right. But before I do, you got a new single called MLK Day, right, Ras?
Yes, sir, for Black History Month. It's part of a greater project, but it's MLK Day featuring Eric J, which is Green Lantern's artist. He's really dope, singer, guitarist, MC. So he sings the hook. Yeah, man, I love the record.
And then you also put out the Last Ride.
The Last Ride is the Horseman. It took us, I call it our debut finale. It took 20 years to make one.
Okay, Cannabis, Corrupt, Killer Priest,
I can imagine.
Ras Kass.
Yeah.
I think, was that you and me, Poetess, talking about Snoop buying Death Row?
Yeah. I wanted to ask Battlecat what you think of that, Snoop finally acquiring Death Row Records, and what do you think the future of Death Row Records will be?
It's necessary, for one. I mean, he was the voice and the face that set it off, and Dre's sound and all the components and, you know, put it together. That was amazing, and it inspired the world to be great and want to do the same thing, you know. I think it was because of what happened with Russell Simmons and Def Jam. That's what really kicked it off. Unfortunately, we lost lives through the actual name, you know. But the positive part about it is that, you know, Snoopy is here. He's a voice. He's a leader. He's reliable. You can count on him. He take accountability for his highs and lows in life. That's what we always wanted with anyone. I love that. I love that about that man, and that's gonna be the same model and breakdown and how I think New Death Row is gonna kick off, even with Harry O being a part of it too.
Wow.
You know,
Harry O.
That was a bit. He played a major role in it from the gate, and he definitely mentored me as well and showed me my wealth behind it and worth. That's what I meant to say as well.
And
so
wealth.
He getting that much money. He getting words mixed up. You see?
Yeah. They both work, huh? So to be a part of it in so many ways is amazing, and to see it come to fruition is amazing. They both grew. They both have a lot in common, and I'm pretty sure you guys will enjoy where they at in the likes of their vision and passion about what it should be, and they just want to continue off from where it was, and it's not going to be the same, so don't look for it to be the same. Just look for something unique and different, and all the family is still there. Rage is there, Corrupt is there, you know, Dash is there.
Oh, that's
RBX
great.
is still there.
What?
You know, so it's an amazing
Awesome.
movement, and then there's new talent coming
You
aboard
think King
as well.
Crooked
I
Eye
mean,
gonna be?
anything is possible now.
Okay.
And I was just with Quick and some of the other family of West Coast, and there's brothers who never been on it. You know, the trust how it could go now, because when you look at Snoopy's history, I mean, he dibble dabbed in a whole lot. You know, Master P laced his chucks.
Yeah.
He brung that to Cali.
Yep.
You know, he did his first independent movement. We were successful with that with the East Siders, 1 and 2, Platinum and Gold, and you know, and the Doggies Angels, all of them. You know, Chan and you know all the Cognac and you know the rest of the crew
Cola.
that was there, Cola,
Yeah.
name it. So, just to keep it short and sweet, I definitely got my hands in it. Superfly got his hands in it.
Superfly.
Awesome.
What up, Priest?
Yes.
Trevor Lawrence Jr.
Uh-huh.
over at Aftermath, just to name a few. Mustard got his hands in it. Oh my God.
Quick?
Bink the Monster.
What about Quick?
In the future, you know, the essence and the spirit of him is always even when you think these guys are not a part of it, they are in their own way. You'd be surprised who's there. I want to give a shout out to all the penmen too. I think who got down on this album, who penned this album. Problems,
Nice.
Superfly,
Nice.
just to name a few. October London, Nefertiti Ofani. These are 2 artists that I'm working with, and Snoop is working with as well. We got down on the algorithm. Battlecat got 4 joints on that baby. I opened up the album with the first 2.
What's the name of the album?
It's called Back on Death Row.
Damn it. I want to be on it.
I want to be on it
You
too.
want to be on Death Row?
Let me put that in the universe.
Yeah,
Snoopy Dogg.
Okay.
Razzie Kazzy.
So the album come out too, you know, the 13th. That's this Saturday before the Super Bowl. We having a listening party as well, you know, at a disclosed location. I try to see if I can make some things happen. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me and Poetess, we'll
Yeah,
break
yeah,
in.
Y'all
try
want
to
a
roll
2-step in
I
that
mean,
joint? It's gonna be
all,
crazy.
all y'all VIP though,
Okay.
you know.
Yeah.
Thank
Your
you,
dog
Raz.
gonna love y'all.
Yeah.
Let's do this since I only got so much time. I got to mention tomorrow to the citizens, our show will be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. West Coast, Connect Gang.
Okay.
Beat me
All
down.
right. And we got a special show for the Super Bowl. We're going to have a lot of NFL players coming by, a lot of special guests. Also, we'll be talking with Eminem. We had a conversation with him. They got a Ma Spaghetti pop-up shop here. You can go to Postmates if you want to order some Ma Spaghettis. But listen, Poetess, I love you. I want to thank you for joining us. We're going to do part 2. You see where we at
Yeah,
with
yeah,
it?
Wait. Is
Right.
OBJ gonna be here?
Yo, man.
Wow.
I said, Poetess, come to the show tomorrow. She said, is Sir going to be there? What's the man with you? Ras,
Her lips,
Battlecat, you Battlecat, man, you are so important to all of this.
Thank
man.
you,
You
man.
are.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you for doing this.
Man, Lord Finesse, come on. Poetess Ras.
Come on, man. Rich Nice. First
man, Rich Nice, come on, man.
Come
Oh,
on.
man, you're a bad brother, man.
Come on, man. Hey, so I want to end how we all began.
What?
On the mic.
Ooh, wait.
You know, and since we got rap, no worry, Poetess, you good this time. All right. All right, since we got Lord Finesse here. I told Raz, man, bring something for me, man, and I'm going to have something special. Bro, we're going to have Lord Finesse throw a beat on for you, brother.
Okay. Well,
okay.
Thanks, Finesse. Appreciate you.
And then we're going to end the show with MLK Day.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go. Let's see. We got Ras Kass, Citizens. T from LA, I'm going to holler at you later. Yeah.
I was that kid, inspired by Crush Group, Beat Street, Boys in the Hood drop, had the Deuce 5, the cheap heat, might pull up at the sideshow, elite Jeeps and street sweep, I'm a rider, we run the road like meet, need it in that fuckery, luckily mama prayed, love is a luxury, y'all beta males and cucks to me. I see free fools and one more time. All right, I got it. Okay. I was that kid, inspired by Crush Group, Beat Street, Boys in the Hood drop, had the Deuce 5, the cheap heat, might pull up at the sideshow, elite Jeeps and street sweep. I'm a rider, we run the road like meet, knee deep in that fuckery. Luckily, mama prayed, love is a luxury. Y'all beta males and cucks to me. I see lames and choker chains and goofy kicks. These rap niggas be more groupie than the groupie chicks. These dudes will shove a baby to get an IG pic and call it Brandon. Must be Trojans, you be riding dick. They told us rap was real spitting, but let the fake cats get most of the power positions. You artificial, these artifacts. I should win Pulitzer Prizes for the art of rap. Ahmaud Arbery got me jogging with the gat. How these rednecks slaughter blacks. It's either that or heart attacks. Ahmaud is the best you ever slept on. Keep sleeping. Stab you in your dreams like Freddy with the glove bleeding. Good times, I'm Lenny, I got plenty. Satisfy your bitch, I give it a dick al dente. I got options, wifey never be my solo mente. Fuck a ball and chain, chop off my foot Kunta Kinte. Versace, pronounced Versace. So how you living in my posse and lie to my Fosse? Talk shit, but you scared of the Debo. Can't drink after niggas, might as well be sharing a needle. I'm preparing the Hebrews. You've been harmless your whole life, you a fucking placebo. Took my kindness to weakness, now fuck it, I'm evil. Replace it with a new Negro like I'm doing Don Cheadle. And nobody even miss you, don't Howard MC you. Leave you in fetal, feeding Alka-Seltzer to the seagulls. I signed to the same label as the Beatles. Stole my album and played the victim. Hashtag me too. Fuck this industry and fuck you rap niggas. I'm a contractor, adapted clap spitters. Yo. Yo, fuck it, yo. Why is some all good, but full of all is awful? The future apostle coming like perv in a brothel. Hostile, balling up my bread like falafel. The thought crushed the oxy and sniffed it up a nostril. Amount of cop cars colossal, I cop the Roscoe, not chicken and waffles. Watching niggas play hostile. Have it your way, Benny Blanco. This verse killed a blind hoe and escaped in a Bronco. wait. 10-inch lips cleared in a master truck. Passing you by, then I skydive off the passenger side. Force ones touch earth, 160 pounds and leave a swoosh in the sand. I'm Iran with a nuke in my hand. Make payday like Groundhog Day. Scramble a Fabergé egg, holding my web bowls like dice clay. 7 and 7 like an ice tray. And fuck your racial identity, cause death always comes in a nice gray. I'm rolling tobacco like the British before I finish the sentence. My accountant talking Yiddish. Raz is sick, I'm the illest. Survival with the fittest. Give you the business side of the broom like Quidditch. Bitch, no. Niggas, I'm not finished. I will give you the teeth that I knocked out your dentist. How they gonna be a menace to society when it ain't no men in it? Oh, they womenesses. Yo, just having fun with it.
Yo, give it up, Raz.
Salute.
Oh my gosh, Raz, turn the mics up. Wow. Yo, I love it, man. This dude, he laughing at his own punch.
A lot of rewinds, homie.
Yo, I love you, Raz. I love you, man. Battlecat, I love you, brother.
Thank you guys for having me.
Poetess, I love you, man.
Love
we want to thank Buddy for coming by, too. We did a world premiere with Buddy today. I love you, man. I'm not going to sing it, HB. Lord Finesse, we love you.
Thank you, Finesse.
Poetess, we love you.
Baby.